Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today you join me in the driving seat of my 1964 Morris Minor. But this video is not going to be about this car, nor is it going to be about my Allegro George. Both my vehicles, for various reasons, are off the road, which has meant only one thing. Yes, regrettably, I've had to go and get another vehicle. I have been literally looking for days to try and find something through the marketplace, tearing my hair out trying to find something within my budget. But to no avail. Luckily, my cousin Claude, who lives in France, came forward, and over the phone the other day, I think he said, "I have the car for you," or something like that in broken English. So I've no idea what he's got me. He's currently on his way by ferry from France, and he's bringing a car. So I've no idea what's coming. Obviously I do, I bought it, but yeah. So he's on the way from France, so all I can do is put the kettle on and wait for him to arrive. This is exciting, isn't it? Catch you in a sec. I hope the weather improves. It's meant to be raining this morning.
Big lunchtime traffic, not ideal. Oh, my moustache! Oh no! No! That's really come off as. Why did I not nothing too? Oh no! Where am I? Wait. Allez! Andando de arriba! Yeah, Spanish. Oh! No! I am wilting! No!
I'm delighted to welcome back to the channel all the way from France my cousin Claude. Claude, come and say hello, mate. Now Claude, this isn't your first time on the channel. What's it like being back?
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. No idea what you're saying. The car looks, thank you very much by the way, the car looks absolutely brilliant. Did you get it in France? Because it's on UK plates. Again, I don't understand. I'm sure it's all good. No idea. Well, I suppose all remains just to show you the new. By the way, how did you get? Okay. He's off. Okay. Have you got all your stuff? No, he's gone. Okay. Well, I suppose without further ado, let's introduce the new car. Yes, guys, I bought a 1983 Peugeot 205. This particular model is the GL. I think it's a spec up from base model, but still retains the poverty steel wheels with the centre caps. I quite like this look. It's in a fetching shade of burgundy, or yeah, I forget the name. Burgundy. It's purple. You can have this car in a variety of engines, of which I'll go through a bit later, but under the bonnet she's packing an 1124cc engine, that's the 50 brake horsepower, and it's the pre-TU engine, so that's the suitcase engine. So I think the design goes back to the early 70s, so quite an archaic engine even by the 80s, but this is my winter daily. It will hopefully be reliable, but yeah, shall I show you around the car and see what we bought? I say we, I mean me. So thank you, Claude, for finding this. It's going to be a good little reliable daily, I think. On first impressions, it's a pretty solid, honest little car. Like I said, it needs a bit of paint work. The tailgate has been painted in a rather, I think, just a rather poor job of it, unfortunately. I'm sure it's had a replacement tailgate because there's evidence of red paint beneath the burgundy, but that can always be addressed at a later date. The best thing about this car by far is the interior. It is absolutely, do that again, absolutely immaculate. Typical Peugeot check straps there, but 109,470 miles. Original radio, yeah, I was going to say radio cassette, it's just a radio. Seats are lovely. Hasn't the velour worn well? Squidgy. 4 on the floor, although it has got the wrong gear knob. The gear knob tells me it's a 5-speed. It's not. We'll try and track down the original gear knob. I think they're quite rare for these cars, unfortunately. Manual locks all round, of course. Lovely interior, headlines all good. And the interior light works. There's a little bit of plastic which needs that fixed. Bottoms of the doors are good. And it's pretty much the same business as usual around the rest of the car. Shame about that. We'll get to address that at some point. I've locked the boot so you can't see inside that. We'll do that later. But yeah, and I've just had these number plates remanufactured. These are period correct for the vehicle with a 1980s font. The font is called Cirque, and I've even put the original garage dealership name and phone number on the bottom of the plate there. Being a European car, bonnet releases on the left hand side. Bonnet catches under here. Little tabby push up, and it's got a hinge mechanism, which means you haven't got to faff around looking for a bonnet prop. Good times. So under the bonnet, it's all very original. You've got the suitcase engine, like I said in the introduction. Well, the only thing I've added so far is the inline fuel filter. I do that just as a standard matter of course, really, although these cars have a plastic fuel tank, so there shouldn't really be any rust being drawn through by the mechanical pump, but it's probably better to be safe than sorry. Air filter canister in the front of the engine there. It's had a new battery. The owner's just done that because the car was not used for a few months and the battery just died. So keep your cars going, guys, otherwise you'll end up buying batteries every few months. But what's it like on the open road? Let's have a quick cheeky test drive. So the Peugeot 205 was introduced way back in February of 1983. The car had been in development for some time before then, because Peugeot were after their next replacement big seller. The car had a very healthy lifespan. In fact, it was built in some countries up until 1999, so it had quite a healthy lifespan. In that time, the car was available in a variety of engine sizes. You could have a 1.1, a 1.4, a 1.6, a 1.8, a 2 litre, and I think in diesel forms there was a 1800 and 1.8 and 2 litre diesel. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So yeah, Peugeot went all out with the choices of engine in these cars. This is Mark 1 or Phase 1. It's one of the earliest iterations of the vehicle. It has the earlier dash with the slider heat controls, which are currently not working, but more on that later. The car is front wheel drive, should have 145, 70 or 80 13 profile tyres from factory. When I bought the car, it had 165 55 13s, making the profile a lot lower and a lot heavier. All four were heavily cracked in Perry, so I've had those changed and had them actually replaced this morning, so this is a bit of a test drive. So what I thought I'd do now is go and sit in some school time traffic. No, actually it's 2 o'clock, but Well, get on the open road and see how she performs, guys. So first impression, she's quiet on the road. The gear change is French. In fact, it's very vague. Sorry, the camera was having a bit of a moment there. I think it's still recording. If not, I apologise. So what I was trying to say was the previous owner had a problem with the gear linkage. Peugeot Talbots are notorious for poor gear linkages. The 205 was no exception. They had link rods connecting the gear linkage and nylon or plastic bushes, and these basically just disintegrate after a period of time. Bear in mind, these cars were never designed to last 40 years. Shut the window a bit for a bit of noise. So he then set about the rather impossible task of trying to find the correct linkage. Found one that was a bit too long. It's the only one he could get at short notice. So as a result, first gear is quite far forward on the gear lever position. It's not the end of the world. He said if you're particularly fussed about it, you could shorten it. But to be honest, it works. I'm just going to leave it well alone. This is going to upset the camera because we're on unpaved roads. Good test of the French suspension. And I can see you've got a wonky. What are you doing? Just noticed the camera's doing a bit of a 60s Batman camera angles. Just going to have to roll with that, guys, I'm afraid. So on the open road, sorry, got slightly off topic there about the camera angles. On the open road, it performs well. It's a single carburettor, manual choke, 4-speed box. It's a quite little, happy little engine. This car does appear to have had a bit of love in the past. It's had all new brake lines front and back. In fact, the owner has put new discs and pads on it. I've just treated it to 4 new tyres because the ones on it were horrendous, like I said. It tracks straight and true. There's a little bit of damage in the corner of the dash, but for an 80s dashboard, the interior has held up remarkably well. This car must have been garaged, I think, at some point in its life. So what else can I tell you about it? It will be the winter default daily for a little while. I need to have a look at George. He's not happy, guys. Top end's very tappety. I think it might be to do with the valve lifters or rocker shaft lubrication. But I don't want to talk about it too much in this video because there will be another video on George where we investigate. What have I noticed that's bad about this car? Apart from the gear change, I can live with that. It took me a while to get used to the gear linkages because it is the box is quite vague, but once you know where everything is, you kind of get used to it. It's an old car at the end of the day. Oh yeah, the heater fan, either the resistor is packed up entirely or the slider on the dash, because you've got slider controls on this and they're doing nothing. It almost feels like they're not connected. So I did a bit of research and they have rockers which connect to the heater matrix or heater box. If the plastics fell apart, then I'm not going to be moving any flaps, as it were. So that could be a major dash assembly, disassembly to rectify that. But set in the hot position, it trickles some warm air through, so I might just have to live with it till I can investigate a bit further. Fuel gauge works. That's a bonus. I've got one working car with a fuel gauge. I mean, I love the interior. It's very much of its time. It has a working radio, medium long wave radio. I have got a brand new old stock 80s radio cassette, which I bought actually to put in the Solara. So I might get Bruce or Gary to give me a hand doing the wiring for that. So I would like to have a working, it'd be quite nice to have a working tape deck, wouldn't it? I mean, it idles fine. It's a bit fluffy on choke first thing in the morning. I don't think the mixtures are set up quite as they should be. But again, this car was in use. It wasn't sat, well, up until recently, it wasn't sat for months at a time. I think it was on as daily. Previous owner put put 2 new headlights on it because the ones that were on the car were the wrong beam pattern. They were left-hand drive headlights. Because again, getting things like this, for spares are a bit of a mixed bag with these cars. Some things are readily available and quite expensive, and some things are ridiculously cheap. One thing I will be getting done in the not too distant future is the clutch. There's nothing wrong with the clutch, but the release bearing is shattering away quite happily while it's out of gear. I don't want the clutch to fail on this, so I've already had a quote from a local mechanic, a friend of mine. He's going to be doing the clutch at some point. I say, well, probably quite soon actually. We'll just chuck it around the roundabout and go back, I think. Another thing I've noticed is it's quite fuely. Constant smell of petrol. I don't know if that's coming from the carb or the fuel tank seal. The fuel tank vent might be blocked or clogged up. Could just be the fuel cap locking ring. Well, the fuel light is flickering every time I go around the corner, so at least the sender works. I'm not used to a car with a working fuel gauge. Well, I think I'm going to head home now and put the kettle on for a cup of tea. Obviously there'll be more content coming on the Peugeot, yet unnamed. George we need to look at, and the Minor needs some brakes. Well, needs the brakes fixing. They're sticking on after a couple of miles, so I've been told potentially it might be the master cylinder. I hope it's not. Sorry, going off topic about the cars again. So we'll look at the brakes in the next Morris Minor video, and then we need to work out what's going on with George, because he's not happy. So that just leaves me to say thank you ever so much for watching again, guys. Thank you for your comments, your feedback. I've noticed a lot of new subscribers, so thank you guys and girls for that. Really appreciate all the feedback. So like I said, thank you very much for watching, guys. I shall see you soon with some more content. Take care, and whatever you're driving, drive it safely. Goodbye. Fuel light's gone off now. It's generating fuel. Probably not.